Breakfast Club. In the building today, we have G-Unit in the building.
Still sleep.
Yeah. What's up?
Yeah.
Where the hell Buck Crazy ass
where's
at?
Young
Where
Buck?
Buck at?
He on his way.
P.O., right?
Yeah, to stay. Yeah, to pee in the cup.
Oh, man.
He still having issues.
Yeah.
Glad to see his P.O.
So
Now, recently,
what was recently?
we had Fredro up here.
Oh, man.
Man, we starting with that.
We started with him.
my
He had
God.
Yayo running. I
Jesus Christ, man.
Solomon
I actually
scared.
was
You
laughing.
definitely had me
He
scared.
took his glasses off and everything.
Man was scared.
I don't know why he do that.
Yeah, Solomon
I
scared.
respect him for that. For sure.
Fredro definitely had me scared. Not even a little bit.
Now, we did our homework, and Fredro said that you didn't snuff him.
Yeah.
And yeah, you and Yayo running.
That you and Yayo was running.
I was locked up.
He was
I didn't
in jail.
even know what happened.
At that time.
See, I need that kind of information prior to those.
You know,
Yeah.
people in the industry be lying.
You didn't
so.
know that was going to happen, that he was going to say that.
That is very true.
His image just came up. You know, after he was here, he was talking and just talked himself into a bad situation. Because the timelines didn't even work. And he had previously been to the show to say it did happen, but he snuffed me.
Yeah, he said
Yeah, but then he did a video prior, which I didn't see till that night, where he said that y'all stomped him out, took his man's watch.
Yeah.
I didn't understand it. That really confused me.
Maybe it was more than one incident.
No, it was one incident, but that
Felt like it.
that was it. Stomped him out, took his wife.
That don't bother you though. Like you don't go back and recook that old beef, right?
Nah. Just leave that. That's really. I mean, I guess it's they'll go in. There'll be a new project and come back, and I'm not even talking about that. I don't even think about that. And they'll come back and just say that just the presentation will be a different way. Like that don't fit the presentation, so you're gonna say it didn't even happen, and then he did this and chased him. Like when people start to say stuff on social network, I don't want to respond to it.
Everybody called me about that. I mean, there was so many people there. I guess that when it happened, it was like, man, that's a lie.
Yeah, then
that was a lie.
Now, can we come into 2014?
All right, let's go to 2014.
What was the initial phone call like to get the unit back together, man?
The first it was from Banks.
Yeah.
Yeah, he called. So you here? So you can answer.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, force things to talk.
That was a good. I'm pretty sure everybody remembers what was going on. You know, at the time. You know, well, before that, me and 50 wasn't talking for a while.
Yeah,
long time.
You know, a long time, and then everything happened with Ye, and you know, next thing I know, my name was in the mix. I started hearing my name. Oh, Banks this, Banks that. So, you know, 50 crazy. So.
But you and 50 never really had any problems.
Nah,
it's just that you was doing your own thing, and it might have seemed like you had a little grudge or something.
Me?
Yeah.
What kind of grudge?
Like you wasn't reaching out to him at all.
Nah, it was just a lack of communication on both our parts. I don't know what to chalk it up to. We've been doing this for a long time. You know, over 10 years. It went from being in the condo, and you know, just planning over, you know, what we wanted to happen, and it watched it play out. You know, so from every step, and it wasn't just me and 50. It was points me and Buck didn't talk. You know.
Yeah.
Now what happened with Yayo? Now Yayo, you and 50, I thought was
You the most loyal. You the shooter.
you know
what it is. I'm gonna tell you what it is. IG is a gift and a curse, man. I just got emotional one day, and all I said was, "Yo, 50, yo." I'm gonna tell the truth. Yeah, I got light skin on, y'all. I got emotional, and I said, 50 don't rock with us. You know what I'm saying? I was going through a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Why you didn't text him though? Why you call him?
I don't know, man. But you see, the media took what I said on IG and went to Vlad TV. He took it, he blew it up. Yo, 50, yo, this is 50. And then, you know, everybody started running with it and got crazy with it. And that's all that was, man.
Now, do you ever get frustrated at them, Phil? Because, like, Banks is the most laid-back guy in the unit, but they said him being so laid-back is sometimes a detriment to his career. That's what we hit.
Like, he'll just be so quiet that at some points you don't even... Like, it's just not there.
Like, I'm trying to make him say something now.
I mean, I came in the game this way. You know what I'm saying? And the artists that I grew up on, like Snoop and, you know, people like that, I just told them the other day, like, they let me know I ain't have to be nobody other than who I am. And I'm not going to change for the industry. I don't care what interview I'm at, what state I'm at, who I'm talking to.
But you got to do some of the things.
It's not going to be that
like
way.
The social networking, the different things, you got to be involved in it a little more. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I just feel like I'd rather be on point with what I do more than be like where everybody else is at and they lacking where I'm at with it.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Because you could be social savvy and all that and be corny.
Yeah, but they just look. It's changing to the point where right now you can not go to the nightclub and do things through your social network and have you as current as you being out. You know what I mean? So if you shooting the music through the actual computer and your presence is there socially on everything else, it'll feel like you're sitting in a room with them. You know, so I just think you have to utilize the new way that everyone else is utilizing it. If you don't, you know, like you fall behind just not staying current with how things are shifting.
Hey, I got mad at the game. I'm going to get frustrated at times. I love music.
Now, what made you so mad though? Because you were making money.
Lack of lyricism from people, or what?
Every record was hitting.
Yeah, creatively, like it's the artist thing, and he's the artist. Like he just wants to do art and leave it there.
Right.
That's it. And then it's becoming, the business is shifting where you have to be a business person at the same time while being an artist, because without the brand extension and opportunities or the association to corporate marketing dollars, how do they see it?
Right.
You know, it just doesn't get to the forefront. So it's certain things that I got to force him to actually do. And the other, I mean, Ye thing was just, he just got upset that I didn't just give it to him.
Give what to him?
The money.
Money.
Yo, listen, I was going through a lot. The industry, you know how fake this industry can get at times.
Yeah, especially when you're running and you in jail. You're not even
right.
here.
I had feds knocking on my door for the Jimmy Henchman case. I had all kinds of things going on.
Right, and who took care of it? But I had to take care of it.
I appreciate it, and I appreciate it.
But each time.
You crazy, though. 50's crazy. Charlamagne, you know he's crazy.
50 crazy.
50 crazy,
Absolutely.
man.
Right, but if I'm troubleshooting when it gets to the point that it has to be taken care of, I'm there to take care of it. Don't expect me to just do it the whole time.
Right. I think everybody knows there's no one person you don't mess with in this industry is Boo Boo. You know,
yeah, 50's
and Boo Boo with money,
man.
you don't mess with. You don't mess with.
Let me tell y'all something. I wish I had a big homie. Cause I'm gonna tell you, I remember we was talking about last week. If we had $1 million, who was going? Who?
No,
call
we needed $1 million.
You know what I'm saying?
To get out.
You need somebody like 50 to be able to call. There's nothing wrong with that.
We appreciate it.
Twisted, man. Like this ain't just come up now. You might have heard it on the radio, but he been telling me that since the very beginning.
Yeah.
You got to do this. You need to work out. You got to, whatever it was.
Right.
Some things I applied, some things I didn't.
Right.
You know, and I feel like that's why I got the chance to do it still to this
Yeah.
Now Buck seemed the happiest.
Yeah.
Buck seemed happy. Like, he's back in the car. Is Buck buying cars again? I seen him in some Corvettes.
Yeah. Got a little Corvette.
Now, Buck is one person. I used to feel bad for Buck because I ran into him a few times when I used to work at Shade 45, and he used to be like, man, I still listen, but, you know, why I can't do no interview? Like, he really still always wanted to be in it, but you just was like, nope. And then you put out that audio of him on the phone crying. And
the audio, look, the audio is because this is not the first time. Mm-hmm. Like, this happens over and over and over. Like, it's almost like, I'm like, what, this is out of control. To the point where, like, the first time it was the funniest thing ever. Buck Hall, he was like, yo, these people, they're saying I owe them like $250,000. I was like,
the IRS, these people?
He genuinely didn't know that he had to pay them. See, because everybody else is in situations around him where they get a tax return.
Right.
And because he had getting all his money up front, when it's time you got to pay them, he's like, huh? I didn't know that. Like, what?
And then the thing is, you ain't got to pay that year. You in a different tax bracket now, so you paying 2 years later.
Damn it.
So then you like, damn, I just spent $200 and I owe him $125, and by that time you like, am I making money right now or not? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that'd be the situation.
He took care of it every time. It's not that it was a lack of income. It's just the timing of when he was supposed to actually pay it.
Right.
And then I would just go, okay, I take care of it, because we had the same business manager.
Right.
So I said, tell him, to transfer it. So it's straight. And then it's like, okay, no pressure. So every time something happened, let's just tell him. Like I had created something that was really unsustainable. And it's like with Olivia, her house was $600,000.
Olivia had a house? For what?
Listen.
what do you mean for what?
You are the devil, man.
Prodigy, right? What happened is Prodigy, the holidays came, and everybody, we did the family functions thing. So we was at, I think we was at Ye crib first.
Yeah, we was at my house.
And then we ended up at Banks' crib, and then the next, we ended up at mine.
Right.
And out of those, I think it was it Christmas or New Year's?
I think it was around Christmas time.
Around Christmas. So we did something once at Ye's crib, then we went to Banks' house, everybody, then we ended up at my house. So after that, it was like P had to change his living arrangements because they was, you know, like Queensbridge lifestyle type.
Yes. Yeah.
I've been doing it a lot longer than G Unit, and then it just came from his crib was like 1.6 and $2 million for base joint, and then to my house they're like, so
where's our crib?
Shorty's looking like, what are we doing? And then she got a new spot in Jersey, but the way he did it, he just didn't actually work out the paperwork because he could have reduced what the down payment would have had to be,
Right.
and he just left it the way they had it in the actual paperwork. So he put down some money, and then it needed an additional $180,000.
Yeah, I remember that.
That Thursday, and it was like Tuesday when he came with it. So I was like, all right, I get to you. It's easy for them to give it back. He gave it right back because
I need a big homie like 50, man. I ain't got nobody like 50 that I can just say, give me 100.
I just said that 5 minutes ago.
no, but what happened is he gave it right back because they was Mobb Deep.
Right.
Before we even got on. So all you had to do is tell, at the time we had Ice in the office, we booked international shows for him for like 4 or 5 days, and they came back. The money was, they had more money than the $180,000, but they had that to give back with no problem.
So when you take care of stuff, everybody gotta pay you back, though. It's not like I'm just giving it.
I want my money back.
Yeah, okay.
It's the label, right?
Yeah, it's like,
sorry,
That's crazy, right? It's crazy.
Why did y'all never express frustration towards each other? Like Banks and Yayo never expressed frustration towards Fifth. Fifth never expressed it towards them. Why was that?
Well, I did. And once we had the meeting in the office, and I kind of explained it. It spun out of control because, like, really, Sha was at the forefront of it because he was supposed to be the management arm. Sha Money. And I had them all meet, and I said, look under the table, and it's when they didn't have the junior sneakers on. So I'm like, they were shifting with the rest of hip-hop culture into high-end couture clothing, Gucci and all this other stuff. So I'm like, all right, y'all go do that while I continue to honor the deal I did with RBK until it's done. So with Sha, I think he always wanted to have something that was his own, like money management, trying to like have that as a separate thing. But then when you say, here, you focus on this and get them deals and do things away from music.
Okay.
I don't need you to be the president of Junior Records because it's not a job function, really. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and there's then it got a little awkward because he never actually utilized. I was offering him overhead to go get his office space and employees and stuff for his actual company, and he didn't take me up on that. Sometimes the pressure of having to be on your own is a lot more than they anticipate when you actually say, okay, now you're on your own. Like, you can go do it, and it's like, I wanted my own thing, but I didn't necessarily want to be on my own. You know, and that didn't work like there, but I was expressing at that point because I'm telling everybody this ain't going to continue to go the way it is. Like this, like that. With P, looking out for P, that was nothing because that was 2 seconds he just brought the money back. Then Olivia and them, they see this, and then they come and she ain't Mobb Deep.
Yeah, you never pull it to the side. You never got an album.
Right, but this is when we're in a point where we're getting ready to launch the record. So it's like, here, I'm going to send you with Missy. Missy Elliott's, like, she was like probably at 95% at that point. 95% of the material she was creating was charting.
Olivia said when she was here a couple weeks ago, she said that you didn't like her in the studio with Missy. Like, what you doing with her all the time?
I had no problem. Missy started hitting it. If you really want to know. Okay. See, it's her fault for actually saying it to
you. See, that's why I love when the unit comes.
Olivia said that's
Fifth
not
will
true.
Always be 100. Okay.
Trust me.
Missy was hitting Olivia.
Olivia denied it.
All right.
Hit the bro button.
Okay. So Banks and Yayo, why y'all never went on a F50 campaign like artists seem to do when they get disgruntled?
Listen, man, when I came home, it was all a dream for me. I came home, I had a condo on 25th Street. Laid out for me. Then me and Banks moved to Battery Park. You ain't even got to wear shoes over there. Out the Battery, even though we got kicked out that building. You know, we was too ratchet in that building.
You got us.
Well, I got us kicked out.
What'd you do to get kicked out?
Fifth coming 4 in the morning, recording. It wasn't just me. They all gonna blame me.
That's him.
It's all of them. But
his behaviors.
I feel like we all brothers. I was just mad at the moment, like how you could be mad at Envy. Like I said, the IG was just like a gift and a curse. Like I shouldn't have went on there and got emotional because I'm not the type to go to the media and talk about Fifth because I feel like that's corny. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like I had TMZ calling my phone. I don't know how they got my number. They told me I could do this show up here. I don't know how that was gonna happen. Hot 97, you know, all these different stations and people was gonna interview me just because I was dissing Fifth. Like they felt like I was going to diss Fifth, and I really wasn't trying to go on that campaign.
So what's different
That's
now
corny.
that you guys are back together? The unit's back. What's different? What did you say? Okay, we can't make these mistakes again. What are we gonna do differently?
50's crazy. You just gotta give people their space. Like you gotta know your friends. You know how they say know your friends. Like Banks, I know how Banks is. If we in the mansion, Banks might go upstairs. I might not see him for like 7-8 hours. He come downstairs with 3 songs. Fifth, he's busy. He's doing his means. Give him his space. You never know what's going on with this guy. Kid, he's the new guy, so he's kind of humble for now. And Buck, you don't know what's gonna happen with Buck.
Happy to be here.
Buck happy to be here. He might go up and just go to the jury dealer real quick in the middle of a session. So you just know your friends and you know how to deal with them.
We all
That's
happy
it.
to be here.
Me,
You know?
yeah, we all. I'm happy. I'm
People
good.
see me and think I'm not having a good time, but that's been my problem since.
Yeah, Banks is smooth. When he
It
got
don't
shot,
translate
he
that way.
walked in the hospital smooth. Like, yo, I'm shot. Like, that's just Banks. If you know Banks, you know Banks. That's just him. He's mad laid back. That's him.
You seem to be more motivated to work with the unit, though, Banks. What's the difference between like the unit and you doing your solo thing?
I never wasn't, man. I took it personal. You know, to be honest, like how everybody getting in your business and stuff. Like I seen Trick say, none of your business. That's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? But we've been through a lot, man.
Right.
You know, and people go through their ups and downs, and I just feel like it was never not about the music for me, and that's what's most important. We did about 40 records.
Yeah.
In a minute. Probably 2-3 weeks.
Right.
So that took me back to 01, 02, where it was no time to think about nothing, no BS. It was just, I gotta get this verse done.
Oh, you ain't on the record.
And I feel like a lot of people are, for some reason, they're not leading no more. I keep hearing people say, I don't care, I'm not a rapper. I don't do what you do then.
Right.
I started off like battling in the park.
Yeah, it's a different thing. Like it's tough for you to care about with so many people. And there's so many, like, they're trends. They're following trends. So it's like somebody will do something, it'll be a cool idea, and then it turns into something that they all following. So you go, nah, that ain't really it. Like what I fell in love with initially. Like in our culture, you had to have your own identity,
right,
your own style, and it's what made it thrive. You know what I mean? Like, and the competitive part of it was the battling part that kept everybody. And now it's everyone's friends.
And the only thing that was it was the media. So I'm sitting back like, look, I was never in a hurry. I'm not trying to lose my friends over this. You know what I'm saying? I don't care which I feel. I'm going to be cool, and that's just my character. And it ain't with 50. I never said nothing publicly about Ye or Buck either.
But it took for Ye to say what he was saying. And
he said us.
Us.
So
Five
thinking now. He thinking we at the crib plotting on him.
I'm at the crib.
You know what I'm saying? Mind you, you got to watch Banks.
I'm going to get both of them.
He see everything. This guy's crazy.
Sometimes not saying nothing is saying a lot.
Yeah, he said us, and ain't nobody saying nothing. Then that's y'all. Okay, I'm gonna get both of you.
No, man.
This crazy, man. This guy's really crazy.
Did other labels try to get at you, Banks? I remember there was rumors that Ye was trying to sign you to Good Music and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean
they like them. Yeah, well, they all like them. Like it's not like a. It's one of those things.
Pretty
like
dope, man.
He said I'm pretty dope.
Kind of dope.
You were supposed to be in like some people were saying you were doing a whole other group and everything at one point.
What are you talking? Oh, with Vado and Fab and Hells. I heard it come up a few times. I would never rule anything, like that out. To work on different projects.
You, Vado, and Fab wouldn't do no interviews. Y'all the most laid back, don't speak people in the world.
Cool show.
Now I know that 50. You said no to Game in a G-Unit reunion. Did any of y'all try to be like, nah, let's get Game involved?
Yeah, what's up with the game?
The game thing is too deep for me because I feel like the whole Jimmy Henchman and all that.
That's
stuff,
where it
like,
come from.
It get deep. Like I think Jimmy Henchman swayed him into who he is.
You don't
know
need
what I
to
mean?
do
Like
that. You got your own coast.
right.
It's a little more Jimmy and his discomfort.
And now they snitching. So
really, it's Jimmy and Chris Lighty because he'd look and say, I manage a guy who works for the guys who Chris has, or do I manage a guy that is something separate? Mm-hmm. You know, and he wanted to break it apart.
And that didn't even make sense because Game is from L.A., Henchman is from the East Coast.
Like, it don't matter. It just didn't make sense. They have it'll be separate intellectual property that he's connected to versus something that's connected to what Chris has already.
I always wondered how complicated that got for y'all, because that was rap beef and street beef.
Yeah.
All at the same time.
Yeah, that was dangerous.
Right. But now, I mean, they telling, and we not. They snitching. They don't stand like, I shot Yayo's Bentley up at the
I was
Apollo.
laughing when I did it, and you snitching
and I'm
right
getting,
now.
And I'm getting subpoenaed by the feds, man. Like, come on, man.
Confronted like by a tough snitch, like, you told me to shoot him.
Can't play both sides of the game, be street, and then talking to the feds. You can't do it.
Tough snitch.
You either street or not.
Charlamagne looking like, well, I'm telling if something happens.
I'm a civilian. I'm not in the street.
Listen, hit me, 911, mom.
So how do you avoid, because both all of y'all have been shot at some point,
No,
right?
not me, not
yet. Buck Banks and Phil.
Not me.
How do you avoid getting shot multiple times? Because you see Suge. Suge done been hit up 3 times. I'm saying Suge done been hit up 3 times.
I don't think anybody's trying to get shot multiple times.
It's different. I don't know.
It's inevitable.
But it's when he got shot 3 different occasions.
3 different occasions. That's what I mean. Yeah.
No, well, I think one of them he shot himself.
Okay.
The last BMA joint, he shot himself in the foot.
And later, that
and
Kanye
then
party.
sued Kanye in it.
The other one was the greatest with Pop.
Let me get in here with that.
And then recently, the one that comes ago.
Okay, I'm sued.
You think it's a lack of finances that he can't properly protect himself? What is it? I don't know.
Nah, I think. Well, I mean, she'll put a lot of pressure on them boys out there. You know how long before somebody ain't scared of it or do something. You know.
The whole new generation out there, man.
So now you guys made all this music and you're putting out. You put out an EP.
Yeah.
Beauty Independence out now. iTunes, pick it up.
Independent.
It seemed like you did that like so quickly. It wasn't like y'all did it. How did you decide? Okay, we're gonna put out an EP. We did all these songs.
We recorded so many records that I just went through and I said, "Yo, we gotta put the music out." Like we got it just sitting there, like
right.
And then like the first thing was, of course, the concept of the mixtape. To do that, but I'm like, it's just all original beats. Like we use new music, so I was like, let's just put an EP out and then we'll shoot the music videos to it and then put the second one out. So we put the Beauty and the Beast and the Beauty of Independence, because I don't have to answer to anyone. So
you have to get like a release date.
Yeah.
It was no real promotion though. It was just like Renee called me one day. It was like, "Yo, I got a new record in your mailbox," and I was like, "What's this? New album?" And it was just that simple.
They're saying it's gonna sell like 15,000 or something, which is pretty good for an EP.
That's what they're gonna actually do with the album that they've been working on. At this point, for real, like at this, like an artist comes with a decent song, it would take. Look at Jeremiah. Don't tell him. That record been out 5 months.
Right.
In 5 months' time, whatever his number is, we've already done that with the EP. You see what I'm saying? So if you leave it, and within our culture, music culture in general, how long before you say, I like this song and it's cool, I'm done with it? Like, I don't know that night when I'm hearing the record if it makes me feel good, if I like it. And I'll play it over and over. So we'll be able to shoot the music videos and let it work at radio. You can't wait for radio to put goods on sale. At this point, it's taking too long. It used to take 6 to 8 weeks to position your record. Now it's taking 20. So if you're going to wait 20 weeks to release a record to find out if the artist is connected on every level, you know what I mean? Or are you going to release music, have a consistency, and then stay visual, stay out in front of the people? Because we're going to shoot a music video to every song on that EP, and then the next EP, The Beast, will come out, and there'll be videos to each one of those. So look at it like a 13-week viral campaign at the same time while having the EPs on sale.
Y'all gonna do solo projects too? Are you gonna do the G-Unit album first, then what?
We working, man.
We can go to the G-Unit. This right now, I'm supposed to be releasing Street King Immortal right now. I'll push that back in order to get them back in pocket because of the momentum of bringing G-Unit back. Like, it's not like my project is gonna work. I'm not in a hurry for it to, it's like that's gonna be cool. But I think when everything else is up and in order and functioning, then you got a whole company functioning versus a artist working.
Now the momentum was there. The momentum was definitely there. People wanted to hear that. They wanted to hear that New York sound back.
Right.
And they haven't heard it in a long time, which was great.
Do y'all, Banks, I know Kick It, not Kick It, but Banks, y'all got a relationship with Dre? Did y'all have a relationship with Dre too? Like Fifth did, or was it just Fifth with that relationship?
I mean, that was our first time in the studio, being in Dre. Pause.
God, you about to tell us something else? Want to drop another bomb?
Nah, pause. First time in L.A., that's the main thing we remember is like being in the studio with Dre, pulling out that big jaw Guido, 50 working on Get Rich or Die Trying. That's like big for me. He telling Fifth to do the same line like 100 times. Do it again. Do it again. And I understand. It was a learning experience being in the studio with Dre.
I ain't even had my ID. I think I missed the first time.
Yeah, you missed the...
Yeah, that's real production when they produce the sound of the lyrics. Like when you listen and you're saying, yeah, but say like oh at the end, like you drag it a little bit.
Yeah, somebody definitely
have you doing it too.
I worked with him after that too on a few records. Never heard him, but.
Oh yeah, his record like if he likes you as an artist, he's gonna have you come back to work with records for him. But those records
never come out.
Yeah.
So you gonna drop the weight and fight Floyd, man? Roger Mayweather said that
it'd be tough.
Y'all need to work y'all issues out in the ring.
Yeah, what's your relationship with Floyd?
I feel like you lost a lot of weight before though for movie roles.
I know, but the 150 to fight.
Oh yeah, no.
This is his natural body. He's drinking a soda right now while he's training. Like he needs to keep weight on while he's physically training. Like that's the difference between him and a lot of the fighters that he's fighting. They may be 165, 170, coming down to fight 154, and he is really a natural 147. So you got to drink. I fight him in the street.
Fight him in the street. What is y'all relationship? Y'all used to be brothers.
Yeah, I can't tell if y'all got real issues or not. Like I even saw him, he threw a little shot on the Showtime All Access, but it seemed like jokes.
Yeah, now it is. It's not like I want to hurt him.
Nah, it's not jokes. It's not jokes. It's not jokes. You go hard, man.
I like because he thinks he could do anything. He's like my younger brother. You do and say anything you want at any point, and it's cool. Like he'll go say that he slept with T.I.'s woman, and then say, "Oh, I didn't say that." Right after, it's cool. Like just say I didn't say it, and I don't have to answer to it to what I just said in the press conference. You know what I'm saying? Like when it's the point that you want to make the most exciting, like that's his moment at the press conference to say that was the thing. And then later, when he's seen again by the media, he'll, oh no, I didn't. I said he thinks.
Right. I mumbled it.
Yeah. At what point did you realize he couldn't read? Because nobody had a clue.
Oh man.
About
I know
until you said
a hard
that.
time. He really do. Like, because he'll pass it. So anything you give him, is you gotta like he'll go. Like he'll give it to Miss Jackson or give it to somebody else to look at it.
But see, you like the lunch. You stupid. Yeah, like at the cafeteria table. You'll be the one that be like your mama. Like you know when the jokes go back and forth, and then that one guy that always goes too far. That's you. That's you with your mom is always the last joke. That's when the fight starts.
Well, okay, look. If you see, like, I'm not bothering him. I woke up the first time you see me when I'm on my phone because the phone is right there for me.
He didn't say 50 though.
Yeah, when you look at the actual interview, he didn't actually say fifth. That headline was real misleading.
The headline was messed up.
What did he just say on All Access?
Yeah, that was a shot. He was like, the 50 still rap.
Right, but wasn't that the same thing he said in that?
Yeah, but you didn't see
got
that
a point.
One yet, though.
I know what he's saying.
You got a point.
I know what he's saying. Like he's thinking. And look, he was just in the shot with Ross and them, and he had said something like, "Yeah, we only doing
with the relevant rappers." Yeah.
And I'm looking, I'm going, and I sat there for a second, and I said, "Should I fire off on both of them, or should I just fire off on?" But I said, "No, that's Floyd. That's Floyd doing what he's doing. That ain't got nothing to do with him." You see what I'm saying? And then in the end, like you look at it and you go, how corny is he for standing next to him when he had his kids at the house?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like he went to the extreme of paying for Shorty to fly out and run around his house. So it's just there is no everything that Floyd does is trying to irk someone else. If he's doing something for Miss Jackson, it's to irk Josie. If he's doing something for every single person, like the girl now is to try and irk Miss J, walk around with her, but she ain't it. you know, you could just look at it. That's Jackie Long piece, man. Like this girl Jackie brought over here. Like he don't even find girls he like. He finds somebody else's girl. Come with her. Oh, you like? Oh, I like her. You want like people that don't know what they like till they see somebody else with it. But now Floyd main joint, the one that you see Medina, is Jackie Long girl. Jackie Long brought her there, dropped her off. You might as well have been pimping. He's like, yo, she a masseuse champ. Left her there. Lord knows how much she got to mail Jackie every week.
Banks and Yayo, y'all can trust this guy?
I wouldn't tell him nothing.
Now wait,
I tell him to be used against y'all.
You gotta stay on point. You hear me?
Banks has never had Banks has never had a girlfriend. Is that still true, or did you find yourself one?
Nah, I'm not even thinking about that. I gotta get hot.
He doing better than the rest of us.
I'm not even thinking about that.
And you really feel like that? You feel like I gotta get hot? Like I feel like
I'm like
you
a
put in
rapper
work
for real. Like the rappers in the '90s wasn't bigging up no girl. No disrespect to I love the ladies, but if now it's like, yo, I buy you this, I buy you that. That's not the rappers that I looked up to.
Word.
I'm not gonna convert.
Yeah,
times change.
Ghostface said you can have anything in this world except cream.
Word. Like I found myself in the shoe store the other day.
What happened to that?
No, come on, Phil.
Who was you buying shoes
Nah, I mean things are different. Like, look, as our culture shifted to Southern-based music, it started to become more fun. There's more party, like energetic movement connected to the music culture because they'll dance. And their definition of going ham was he took his shirt off and he was shaking his dreads and he was sweating. And our definition of the top performance out here is this. A great nod, and on the way back, it's like, yo, I love that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's the same. It's just we display it differently. And then
that's ironic that you say that though, because In the Club was your biggest record.
Yeah. And then with the strip club culture came with Southern-based music. It exploded to a point where the strip club is a nightclub now. It doesn't feel like there's a difference between the two.
Right. It ain't like you go in there really just to see the girls. You really go in there to hear the music.
And party like everything else.
Eat some wings.
You going there too, kicking it.
Do you and Buck ever feel out of place sometimes?
Oh, man, Buck?
Yeah.
Nah, man, never. I don't know why I do.
Yeah.
but we don't, man. It's really all fam, man. For real. For real. Like, even before, like, Banks and everything was back, I'd run into him in the club. You know what I'm saying? Everything. Like, it always just was love. For real. So it's just a blessing to be up here, man. I catch a lot of fan moments and all kind of stuff, man. We be on stage. Like, we be performing. I'll be like, hold up. Break out the phone, look, for real, because at the same time, you know, I was a fan first before anything.
It seemed like
you cannot say you wasn't a G-Unit fan.
It seemed like 50 keep you up here to keep you out of trouble, to make sure he can keep an eye on you, make sure nothing gonna happen down there.
For real,
yeah,
man.
I left. And when I decided I was gonna work with him, I was in New Orleans, right? He was in Queens at the time that we was talking. Then by the time, like, I was like, sure, I'm working with him because they came through and I listened to him and I'm watching him. They got shot. They got shot up, and I was like, damn. It was one of those things where you feel like I should have just moved him right when I decided I was gonna work with him because I knew it was like down there they get like theirs is different. Remember how when you see No Limit, like Master P, that energy, that military type of, they're using bigger bullets. Usual. Like it's a different thing down in New Orleans. It's a whole nother. And as long as it's not like not in that French quarters.
Yeah,
it's a little different.
Like, it seemed like you moved him up immediately. Let me get him out of there.
I wonder why it's like that down there, though. It's like soon as like somebody get hot, like whether it's Lil Snoop or you in that area, Louisiana, New Orleans,
because
they
it's not so many people to make it out there. You know what I mean? To make it from out there. That's why a lot of people that did make it out, they out of there. Like, you know, Babe and them and everything. They where they in Miami.
Miami, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? P them somewhere in Cali somewhere. You know, so just being in that element, man. You know, rest in peace to Snoop too. You feel me? Rest in peace to Soulja Slim too, also. But it's so easy to just get caught up in them streets. You know, especially if you're an active type of person.
Yeah. So Yayo and Banks, how y'all stayed out of the hood? Because y'all still played the hood when G-Unit was at the top.
I mean, my story is kind of similar. I got shot like in the mix of it, the first mixtape, and that first mixtape felt like an album.
Yeah, that was early.
I
though.
was clapping the whole hood off that mixtape.
They were standing around too long, and like after the nightclub over, you go home.
Go home.
You standing around, okay.
And then,
you know they brought the pistols so they could be in the club comfortable.
Banks
It just takes time to realize you ain't regular.
sometimes you slip, but for the most part, you know, I'm never gonna forget that. It just gives you a third eye. You know, I was kind of getting crazy out there.
You asked for it already. By the time them lights come on, if you're not already there working there, so you're required to be there, you know you're wrong.
It's only a few things you waiting for out there. A girl, juke somebody, get juked.
Right.
Yeah,
That means you got the pistol.
For real.
Yeah. They got the pistol to be comfortable to come and function if they have, because they may have other people that would have it for them. They bring it, it's in the car. In the middle of the night, it's 3, 4 in the morning. At that point, so it ain't too many people just randomly looking out the window.
For real.
And he told us not to go.
I was like,
go to. Then he called me like, "Yeah, you're a big boy now. I told you ain't nothing."
We see like that time, not to see if you're okay. Like, I did not tell you, I told you so.
He said, "Yo, that's a place to have fun. The club is a place to have fun, right?
Yeah.
So why you bring your weapon there?
Right.
True.
Why you got to go somewhere to have fun with your gun?
True.
Then he came in the
No, I'm
hospital
coming
like,
over your house. That's when I'm having a good time. I don't need to bring my gun to your house. You know what I'm saying? Like I just.
That made a lot of sense too.
But you know what's crazy though? Because remember that time we was in Nashville? And we was on, I forgot what club it was. Messing around with Buck out there, and it was about 500 people in the parking lot.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And we sitting up at the top of the roof counting like 1, 2, just waiting for the shootout
Let's
to
get ready
happen.
to go.
And it never happened.
Yeah, they got a different culture.
So
there.
at certain places it could go down.
When
like,
they come,
they
that
chill
parking
different,
lot
you know what I'm saying?
energy where the car's out, and I'm like, oh, they gonna shoot this to
For
pieces.
sure. You
Because
see
I'm just
20
looking
people
like
walking
they
and
gotta
20
have it, and it's just they was there to show their cars off, and they played music, and it was just like
Different mentality.
Like tailgating.
a total different mentality. Yeah, like I wouldn't even be like, I would feel like it is. Like that on the countdown. Like, I'm like, hold on, move. Let me get out of here. What you doing? Nah, what up? Yeah. While I'm on my way out of there, because I know this is the shoot 'em up joint right here. And then it's like, nothing happened.
And
Now,
then
the
not for
album
nothing, the
stores-
hip hop police be out there too. So you gotta be, you know, you
I
gotta
heard they
be
back
careful.
messing with y'all
You know what I'm
heavy.
saying?
Hip hop police, curly top, leave us
Yeah. You
alone.
chill if you want.
Leave us alone, curly top.
Now, what happened with Slow Bucks? The first time I ever met Slow Bucks.
Oh my God, you bringing up all the old beat.
Was with 50. It was the first time I met him was with you guys.
He actually was carrying Banks bags. He was like, he ended up in that circle after. Because we kind of broke off in the cells because we had more success than we anticipated. Like, but as the solo artists started to create, they had their own road manager, their own tour manager, their own security, own people just traveling with them. And Slow ended up with Banks traveling towards the end of his, like when the solo runs. But they like, you know what? It's interesting that in the end you watch people make the decision to try and go for money every time. That's what that was a reflection of, him sitting in front of the lawyer. Because it's an attempt to try and get money from the situation, but in process, you know, you do everything that goes against your codes of ethics or what morally you're supposed to stand for. So it just made a fool of himself.
I wanted to ask you if he was Jeezy in the situation that he was in last week with the $1 million bill. And we talked to him yesterday. He said he purposely sat because he wanted to make sure all his people came home.
Well, it's better that you, like on Jeezy's part, if he comes out right away, they'd be like, he home. He don't care about, like, he out. What you talking about? He got out, like, we sitting in here, and then it starts to divide people. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
Him actually sitting was smart.
It's not easier to get other people out if you get home first? Like,
Huh?
it's not easier to say, okay, let me get out and then get it. I'm just saying, I don't know, because I've never been arrested.
No. All I'm saying
I'm
is,
just saying, if I come home, can I?
Us three, me, you, and Sean, we in the pens, right? And we got, this is a serious case now. You know what I'm saying? And we're sitting here, and as soon as we get in, boom, they go, okay, 50, let's go. And take me out, and y'all still sitting in there, you like, shh, it's gonna be tight. But later, how I want the case to go don't mean nothing because you going, man, she got out 2 minutes ago. I'm sitting in here, you out there doing this and that. Like, you know, it starts causing independent thinking instead of team.
Right. You can keep an eye on everybody while you're in there.
Right. Yeah.
Everybody's on the same page. I get it. That makes sense now.
All right, and I saw recently it was your son's birthday, and you bought him a little Benz
little car.
Oh, you went hard. Ferrari theme party. You trying to? That's hard over there.
Yeah, trying some for his 2. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like,
what you gonna do for 3, 5th? Damn.
I don't even know. Oh, Puppy's daughters is there.
Oh, really?
The twins.
The twins.
Yeah, you get them started early, huh?
Yeah, they came.
They're too old.
Stop it, man.
You get your son started early, huh?
Stop it.
Jeez. That one almost went over my head.
I caught it immediately. I stop it.
And we getting Power season 2, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we love that show.
Shout out to Power.
Yeah, I need to be in it again. You know, I made my starring role.
I didn't know that was Envy in there. I had to pause.
My starring role. I need to be in season 2.
I didn't start watching it when it first came out, but I think I was home one day. It was on TV. I was like, let me check this out, and then I had to watch it from the whole beginning. That's what's been happening a lot. A lot of people are catching up before it starts because how much everyone's talked about it since it came out, and usually it's season 2, season 3 when people start to catch the show. You know, so it's happening at a pace that is creating a lot people
of
people are
excitement.
getting Cinemax now.
Yeah. So it is coming because social media had a rumor that you canceled it for whatever reason.
Nah, it's definitely in progress. We got. I was in a writer's room. I post a photograph of that with B. Courtney and the team that is in Los Angeles right, and then it's done actually.
Your character's not very likable on there.
It's the right character for me. It is. It's the right character.
Now, lastly, before we get up out of here, they made fun of me because I was talking about the underwear that you invested in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And we got a pair.
I do. It works. Explain to the people about the underwear. It keeps your balls from sweating.
Yeah, it keeps. It has like a
pouch.
A pouch.
I was trying to explain it. I felt awkward.
And it got like buttons on the side of it so you can actually make it fit.
So it separates your balls from your
right.
penis.
The the reason why you would
it worked, dude, fellas. It worked.
Do you guys have this underwear too?
Yeah. How do you brand underwear?
And what if you guys have like different
sizes?
sizes?
The waistband. You know how we.
All right. Okay.
But the way you would. Listen.
I couldn't explain it either.
He has to look at me to explain it. He don't want to look at
no. I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna tell you why it worked. Look, when they brought it to me, I was like, "What?
Are you wearing them now?"
No. I said, "What is it?" Like, and I was checking it out, and Derek Jeter, and Camilo, and a few people was looking at it, and I looked at it, and I was like, "Nah." I wore them, and I said it works because. Like for men, physically, we up against ourselves. Like,
what do you mean?
Like we're rubbing up against ourselves.
Oh, the bat wings when it sticks to your thigh.
You can't explain it. I tell you, it just works.
Then you start to perspire a little, and then it'll create like a little odor that isn't created.
Fifth, just show them the check, Fifth.
So you get musty.
Show them the check later.
Yeah. Like usually, look at how much women are willing to pay for undergarments.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Usually, a man, we're not doing that unless it does something significantly.
So, are they pretty?
They're cool.
Okay.
This is for men. This is masculine.
No, I'm saying because we spend money on underwear because they look nice.
I just tell you, it just works, man.
That's sexy. They got a band around it.
Sexy.
That's sexy.
You know what? Goodness gracious. The album's in stores right now. Make
Beauty
sure
and Independence.
Get it right now.
Yep.
And the Beast of Independence coming soon, right?
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
We appreciate you guys for joining us. Next time, bring Buck up here.
Happy birthday, Envy.
I thought he was going to say bring underwear.
No, shit. Things expensive. Yeah, if you want to bring something, you can bring them. They're expensive.
I'll bring so you can see it. They're $100.
They're $100 there. Yeah. I only got one. I got to keep watching that same one over and over.
Turn them inside out. Can you turn them inside out?
You can't.
No, you got to use the pouch.
You got to use the pouch. Anyway, it's the Breakfast Club. It's G-Unit.
Yeah.